It is Monday, July 28th at 7:27 a.m. Yeah, I didn't. Last Wednesday was my normal day off. Ulcerative colitis flare. It was a real, right in the middle range. It wasn't a super bad one, but it wasn't a light one. It was right in the middle. Decent amount of blood. Anyways, I didn't do Thursday's workout, Friday's workout, or Saturday's workout, as you know. Jumped on prednisone again, 40 milligrams, did it for 5 days. Yesterday was my last 40 milligram day. I dropped down to 30 today. And as you know, I don't like working out anything above 20 milligrams of prednisone while I'm, any more than taking 20 milligrams. Because at 20 milligram mark, I found out that my body starts normalizing a lot better. Like everything starts functioning a lot more normal when I hit 20 and below milligrams. But I'm on 30 right now, but I just can't sit around any longer. It's driving me crazy. I'm not a person to sit around. I was going fucking mad. But everything is feeling a lot better. Everything's pretty much straightened out. And now I'm just on the wean down, the taper down for the prednisone. One thing I did start too, Thursday, my sister last Christmas got me one of those grounding pads. It's a pad you put on the floor, and then you snap a little wire to it and then plug it into the grounding port on your electrical outlet. I can't know for sure what kind of benefits it gave me. I know it has gave me benefits because I feel different. Because I literally have had my feet on it all the past 4 days constantly, 24/7. I just been sitting around, standing and sitting on the damn thing the whole time, and I do feel different. But again, I can't know for sure because of the higher dose of prednisone that messes with your body so much to where knowing effects of something else you're doing is going to be really minimal because the prednisone just trashes your body left and right and up and down. So I'll know in the next handful of weeks, once the prednisone weans out of me, how actually beneficial the grounding pad is. But I do notice a difference, like a lot of my anxiety and shit, especially from the twitchy anxiety from the prednisone, that a lot of it's gone. I'm pretty blown away. Before, I just couldn't sit still on prednisone because it made my nerves just buzz. I was able to sit still, so that was one benefit that I noticed. But again, I'll fill you in as the days go on how that feels, because I'm telling you, it makes a difference. A lot of the issues, I believe, health issues, are pent up energy. You get the aura, you get the chakras and all that stuff, and each individual organ has its own little ball energy and yada yada yada. But I believe a lot of chronic illness is due to stagnant, pent up shit loops of energy caught inside you. Like me, I have a lot of problems with my bowels, and I believe there was just kind of like a bad energy vortex there that was causing all this anxiety and the disease itself. But again, curing the disease with a grounding pad, I'm not sure if that's fully possible, but relieving a lot of the anxiety and jittery and bad energy in that location, I think I can neutralize a lot of that with that pad. So again, won't know for a couple weeks until I've used it for a couple weeks. I'm gonna leave that fucker on the ground where I sit all the time, so I'm basically gonna be on that thing for at least a handful of hours a day, because I want to see how well. Because again, earthing, same thing as grounding, but you're standing on the planet, and the dirt and grass. You can't do that as much as with a grounding pad, right? Because most people aren't running around outside barefoot all the time. It's just Nowadays, it's not as possible unless you live in a place where you're able to do that all the time. So that's why I always love going to the beach and living. Would love to live by the beach because I would be barefoot 99% of the time, so I could get a lot of that, but I don't. Far from it. Cornfield territory here, so we'll see. And all right, I'm gonna start with, it's Monday, mile walk and buys and tries. Again, I'm on 30 milligrams of prednisone. I just dropped down to 30 milligrams, so I still probably have 40 in me, give or take, because it does last. That shit just hangs around in you forever. So I'm gonna do a mile walk. I'll vary the speed. I'm just starting up again. Buys and tries. If I'm able to do a buy and try day to day, it's going to be a light one. Again, when you're weaning off, when you just come off prednisone, you're weaning off prednisone, even if you're on a full dose of prednisone, you want to go light. You don't want to add too much physical stress because your body is trying to heal because of the prednisone. So again, you just want to, quote unquote, just lick the muscles. You just want to work them out in a fashion where you're not beating the shit out of them. That's the best way of putting it. So, all right, let's get to the walk before I gotta piss again. So, and if I do the buys and tries again, how do you feel before, during, and after a rep, a set, an exercise, and the workout in general? It'll probably just be that mild buy and try workout that I do, where I go from the preacher to the cable push down, pull down, whatever the hell you call it, back and forth, bing, 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 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, and I'll go light too. I'll probably start at like the 25-pound weights, maybe 30, and I'm just gonna go up by 5 pounds each time. I'm not gonna, and go figure, right? I just start getting into the swing of things where I'm ramping myself up to my normal weight in the past, and then I have another flare and I gotta pull all the way back down again. So I'm not following my normal protocol, which I normally do, and I'm stupid and I should, because I figured out a couple years ago where I can work out fairly hard, medium to hard level. I can never go hard, because being ill, your body doesn't handle that shit well. But I did find out that I can go work out for 4 or 5 weeks, take a week off, or do a really light week on the 5th or 6th week, and then I can go medium hard for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then take another week off, or go really low on the fourth, fifth, or sixth week. You keep doing that. Go hardish 4 weeks, take a 5th week off. Hardish 4 weeks, take a 5th week off. You don't take it off, and I recommend not taking it off, but go really light. Stick with your walks as normal, but drop your weight by at least half, maybe even 3/4 of the weight, and just basically do it enough to where you're getting a light exercise in, light to medium exercise in, but you're not putting that typical physical stress you're putting on yourself you did the past 4 weeks, because that will that'll throws me into a flare, apparently, right? And as much as I keep all this stuff as locked down and maintained as possible, it is very hard, because there's so many variables that go along with every single issue. And even if you're a healthy person, there's still a million variables going on inside you that you have no idea what it's doing and what can happen from 1 second to another. So you got to continually pay attention to your body, continually feel your body, not listen to your body, feel it. How does your body feel? Every aspect, every part of your body, the whole time, every rep, every set, every exercise, and the workout in general, and then again in life in general. Continue to follow and pay attention to your body and feel. How do you feel, right? If something starts feeling a little off, adjust shit immediately, right? And keep doing that. But you got to work out. I mean, I've done the whole sitting around thing for a decade, whining and crying about my illnesses, and I felt like a pile of shit. I was fat, lazy, sick, stupid fuck. Stupid. Change stuff around, and I feel a lot better. It feels like you got kind of a purpose to life then, So All right, let's do this before I have to piss again. All right. So, I'm probably gonna, I don't know what speed I'm gonna start out at. Again, I'm at 30. I'm 10 milligrams higher than I normally would like to start my workouts back up again. But I've got so much pent up energy over the past 5 days, I just want to scream. So, alright. Sorry, moving around. Ah! Okay. Alright. Just shorts. And it's gonna get sunny out too. It's just a bunch of morning rain and whatnot. So just the tightness of your watch banks. You don't want to cut off any, not just circulation, because circulation is more running inside. You don't want to cut off the lymphedema, or the lymphatic circulation immediately underneath your skin. So that's just as important, if not more important, than your blood pumping too. So, because plugging and blocking your lymphatic system can cause everything from lymphedemas, minor issues, to cancers and everything else. So you don't want to block your lymphatic system off at all. Alright, always on display. I got my Air, him. These guys are on. Apple Music's been acting like a pile of shit today for some reason. He's on, he's connected, water, coconut water, towel. Alright, clear the bugs out of your eyes. This nice and light, just getting the boogers out, the sleep, the crusties, whatever the fuck we call them. And then lightly wipe the fluid from under your eyes so you can whoosh it and keep the bags out there underneath your eyes. You don't want to have bags. And again, if you got a fat head, lose the fat and then get rid of the fluid. Alright. I hate taking days off like that, or almost a week off. So, back into it. Let's start at, I'm going to start at 2-3 and then work my way up and see how everything feels. Well, 2-2, let's just do 2-2. But I want to try to get a full mile in regardless, and if it takes half hour or whatever, so. Alright, I almost forgot. Okay, indoor walk. Alright, and he is tightening up enough to get this accelerometer working properly, but not choking off any fluids. Okay. Alright. Alright, start at 2-2. Hopefully I can get up to 2-7 and walk that, but again, prednisone always makes me feel like you got an elephant sitting on my chest, so. Plus what the prednisone is gave me, my lymphedema swelled up more in my legs, so that's the other reason why I have to get on working out again. I gotta get my fluid moving. It gets all stagnant in my fucking legs. And of course, because of the prednisone, my heart rate's higher than normal too, so a good 8 to 12 beats higher. And more twitchy as well. legs have that real tired, like achy feel because they have too much fluid in them right now. Like right now I feel like I'm running because my legs have so much fluid in them. Like, you know, when you run for like 20 minutes and you get kind of that sore leg feel, got it right now. 98 beats, quarter mile. torture. Point 7. 106, 107 beats. .9, one left. Damn nodes. And the fucking prednisone. One mile, 27:30. One mile, 27:17. Round up 28 minutes. 2-minute cool down, 30-minute walk. 30-minute mile walk. 1.5. .9. Damn, I could not have gone any faster. Because prednisone doesn't just make my lymphedema swell more and me hold more water in my legs, lymphedema. It tightens the grip on these lymph nodes. Basically what I call speed bumps for your lymphatic system. They basically slow the progression of fluid through the body. Because if you didn't have the lymph nodes, all your lymphatic fluid would just drop down to the bottom of your body. It's kind of like the lymph nodes are kind of like little veins. The veins in your the valves in your veins to prevent backflow. And done. Apparently, according to my doctor, your lymphatic veins, vessels have valves just like your blood vessels do to prevent backflow. Basically, the blood flows in and then it can't flow back through the other way. It flows in, then can't go back. Flows in, can't go back. And now, what I like to call speed bumps / bus stops is your lymphatic nodes. Is almost like a processing center for all lymphatic juices, as well as it basically helps not just the valves in there. Look, I'm no physiological. I took anatomy in college, but I'm no freaking scientist or any of that shit. But I'm just telling you stuff how I believe it works on everything I've seen in my body, right? But like the nodes, because here's one right here if you can see it, but you got a group of them here, group from here, group here, all basically kind of in your joints. You got a couple of them there too. So like the fluid can go one way, get up to the processing center, slow itself down, and then get pushed up to the next one, next, kind of goes in like a. So it doesn't just help the valves prevent backflow, but it also like processes the fluids and as well as again prevents backflow. So when I take prednisone makes your tissue swell, makes your lymphatic system swell up more, right? I'm not exactly versed in exactly why that happens, but all I know is, especially if you have lymphedema, it'll make your lymphedema swell more. So as you can see, my leg, you can even see how much a little bit more fluid my knees are holding. And even this leg, which rarely holds much fluid at all, is holding fluid as well. But it is creeping above and into my knee joints as well, because I can feel how tight they are. You just feel how tight all the shit is. But if I would have walked faster in 2.2, with the amount of pressure and fluid that is down my lower end of my body, I would be speeding my system up more, trying to force more of that lymphatic fluid up through the lymphatic vessels and through these nodes quicker. Well, being that everything's swollen up and being tied up and traffic jams and all that shit, I could not have gone faster, because if I would have gone any faster, my leg was already aching pretty good. Like, it was really aching. And the aching I can describe as like, if you go run for 30 minutes, and you don't run that often, and you get that really achy leg feeling, like towards the end of the run, like your legs are just like beat and sore and just aching, like they ache, right? It's the best word I can come up with, is they like ache really bad. Well, slowed the progression of my lymphatic system, and the more fluid my legs were holding, I couldn't have walked faster, because if I had walked faster, it would have tried to force more fluid up through the nodes and up to the top part of my body, which top part of my body, knock on wood, the fluid fluctuates, but not as bad as the lower half of my body. And it would have ached a lot more. Like, I couldn't have done it because it was really almost burning, aching to the point. So, I mean, even 2.3 would have just like, it would not have felt good at all. I mean, it already wasn't feeling good, but managed to get a mile, 1.068 at 30 minutes 3 seconds. So, here, this thing's still going, but yeah, at prednisone. And like I said before, usually when I hit 20 milligrams and below on prednisone, it starts breaking all that shit loose and free. Like, my heart rate starts getting synced in better and normalizing, doesn't twitch as much. The fluid doesn't get held down here as much, and is more free flowing through the nodes and the veins. So I could walk a little faster and actually work to have more of a quality workout. So, and this time I'm going to, my balls are actually, knock on wood, doing really good right now. So I did 5 days of 40 milligrams with 4 milligram Bentyl 4 times a day. What I'm going to do is, I normally do 3 to 5 days at 40 milligrams, and then I usually do 3 days of 30, 3 days of 20, and 3 days of 10 to wean down. Well, you only need to theoretically wean down, like they say, and if you're taking steroids, prednisone, for like more than like 3-4 weeks, then you need to do the longer you take it, the longer wean down period you have to do, right? You can do a week's blast of 40 or 60 milligrams and then just drop off it, not even do a taper, right? Well, with bowel diseases and stuff like that, you don't want to just drop off, period. Like, you can't. You drop off and you can literally, your body can loop back around and fuck you again hard. Like, just like nothing, you didn't even take the shit, right? So you have to wean down to a point. So I was doing the 3 day, 3 day, and 3 day wean down, taper, whatever. But this week, being that my body snapped in really well, I'm thinking partly because of that grounding pad that I did, that really, really, really helped with side effects of the prednisone, as well as I felt more like normal, like a non-prednisone. Like, it's hard to explain. Get one of those grounding pads. I don't care what company. I don't sponsor anybody or whatever. Just find a good grounding pad and hang on it for a while, right? And yeah, you'll benefit if you just touch it here and there. But really, like, sit down for a while, put your feet on the damn thing, and sit there for a couple hours. Watch a movie or something, right? And then you can get a good idea if you're on there for 2 or 3 hours, if you feel, but you notice more when you're on it more, like, and being that I was just sitting around for 5 days because of this stupid fucking flare, I really had my feet on that fucker all the time, like 12 plus hours a day. I wanted to make sure I got a good old blast of it. And it really does help. Like, I think it even had a part in helping the prednisone, or helping my body reverse the flare as well. Because normally, like, my bowels aren't this good at 4 and 5 days, right? Sometimes I'll like start tapering when I'm starting my body's on the upswing, doing good, and then I'll start tapering, and then everything's fine as well. Like I kind of can manipulate it in a way, and I've done this so many times to where I kind of figure it out. But something about that pad really just was fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 30 today, 20 tomorrow, 10 on Wednesday, and maybe I'll hit a 5 on Thursday just to do a full half each time, right? Or 10 10 10 and then another 5 or whatever, just icing on the cake. I might do just drop off at 10 on Wednesday. I don't know, but I'm gonna drop down to 20 tomorrow because I want to see where I'm at. I want to see if I can accomplish this way of doing it, right? By doing 4 to 5 days at 40, and then doing 30 20 10, possibly a 5. And that grounding pad works so well. Like I actually went online after like 2 days after I started using it, and I bought some grounding shoes. some shoes that are designed to, when you're walking around outside, you can still wear shoes and still be grounded type of thing. So it's got some like metal in the sole to ground you, So I'm gonna try that as well, because that's how good that shit made me feel. So, and normally, and a 30, like dropping down to 30, I'm still pretty fucked. Like I would not have started even doing my walk until I hit 20 milligrams. Like, and that's even pushing it in my opinion. Like, because I usually felt that shitty to where even at 20 milligrams on the taper, it just like had my body just going fuck factory style, to where I didn't even want to attempt it because I didn't want my heart spiking. I didn't want all the head swimmy fucked up feeling you get from this, and I actually feel really good. So I'm going to drop to 20, and I'm going to just continue on my workouts and see how this works, right? Because I got to get off this shit. And I can feel in my knee joints, there's quite a bit of fluid in my knees. Like, skin's tighter, and you can feel like your knees are swimming in fluid. It's just the best description I can come up with. But so, let me show you my walk here. So, holy shit, it's almost an hour on the damn walk. So yeah, basically it was usually 25 minutes with the cool down, and it was 30 minutes with the cool down. So it was 5 extra minutes at 2.2 instead of 2.7 speed. So not too bad, but I managed to get my mile walk in. So here is, I sat there and yacked for a few minutes, but that's my mile walk on Monday at 30 milligram prednisone, tapered down from a colitis flare. So 180 active calories, 41 minutes. See, heart's still higher. Well, heart's kind of right on. So your heart runs a little higher when you're on prednisone, but it's not so much running higher, but your heart's more twitchy. Like just like doing this can pop your heart up 5 to 10 beats instantly, right? Normally when you do that, there's like kind of like a delay, and your heart slowly rises when you do that, But when you're moving around with prednisone, everything is a little more reactive. Like your heart like is, it's quicker to the, So, all right, I'm gonna go take a piss, and I showed you my walk. Okay, I'm gonna take a piss, and I'm gonna be back with buys and tries. And see, normally at 30 milligrams prednisone, I wouldn't even fucking attempt to buy and try a day. I'd have done a half-ass fucking walk, as you saw previously in my past workouts. Anywhere from a half a mile, barely even make a mile, if I even worked out on a 30 milligram day. And so that grounding pad, I think, is some pretty cool shit. Like, it snapped my ball. Like, I was like full on blood diarrhea. Like, I always wait, not till after the first one that I do. And I always, because sometimes it'll fool you, you know. So I wait till the second full-on blood diarrhea, and then I'm thinking, oh fuck, you know, everything feels like it, you know. And then after the third one, I was like, all right, fuck, I'll take prednisone. So I started taking that, and it's funny because if you have colitis or Crohn's, I don't know if you're as detailed as me, but like you can smell, like when you're taking a dump, taking a crap, taking a shit, whatever you want to call it, you can smell if you have blood in your poop, like when you're sitting there, because obviously you're going to sit there and smell your shit anyways because you're taking a shit, right? But you can smell, even if there's just a faint amount of blood, even if you can't see the shit, even if you can't see the blood in your poop, you can actually smell the shit. Like I can anyways. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm guessing other people can too if you pay attention. But you can smell how much is in there, like, because the blood smell will start overriding the poop smell, and it smells like a kind of like a rotting blood in a way. It's weird when it's full on funky, and you got to take prednisone. But normally, if you can't even see it in your stool, you can smell it, so you know kind of where the state of your bowels in a way. You know what I mean? Like, so. Anyways, enough with smelling shit. All right, I'm gonna go take a piss, and my mind's a little more clear too. So I highly recommend you getting one of those grounding pads. They're just little fucking like welcome mat looking things, you know, just stumpy little, you know. And you plug it, you put a cord on it, snap a cord on it, and you plug it into the grounding port on your plug. I'm flabbergastedly blown away. In fact, I'm really curious to how I'll feel when I'm not on prednisone. That is the true thing. I want to see how well it maintains my systems and keeps that negative energy out of the hot zones, like my spine. And yes, my spine pain has been a little less too because of it. It has dropped in intensity to a certain point. I mean, you can never get rid of pain, right? Unless you cure yourself. Literally, pain is pain. Pain's a fuck factory. It's a nightmare from hell. But everything, all the discomfort in my body has dropped to a certain degree, is my point. Try a grounding pad. They're not that much money, you know, and I highly recommend sitting in. And if you just half-ass it, you're not going to see any results. So, you know, so you got to, you know, if you're sitting around, if there's a certain point in time, like at night when you're sitting around a lot, in the morning you're sitting around a lot, in the afternoon, if whatever, at your desk, at your office, put it on the ground while you're sitting around a computer, and take your shoes and socks off and put your feet on the damn thing. Try it. It's blowing me away. In fact, I'm really curious on what it's like when I'm not on prednisone, because I'm guessing I'm going to have some pretty badass results, and hopefully not as many flares as I normally do. So anyways, be right back with buys and tries.